Hey guys, welcome back to the College Predictor. We're just going to make a quick video for the 3 games being played on December 26th. And our first game that we're going to go is Bowling Green versus Minnesota in the Quick Lane Bowl. For starters, Minnesota should not be in a bowl game. They're 5-7. They don't have a winning record or even a 500 record. But because there weren't enough teams, they made it. I don't like it, but rules are rules. I personally think Army should have been playing Bowling Green right now. Bowling Green is sitting at 7-5, one of the better teams in the Mid-American Conference. Their 5 losses were to pretty good teams: Liberty, Michigan, Miami, Ohio, Toledo, and Ohio. So they lost to good teams. I think Bowling Green is a very solid group of players because last year they came out of nowhere. They went, I believe, 8-4 or 9-3. But they've been a running team for sure. They have 2 running backs, very good ones. Their number 1 running back, who has 8 touchdowns in the year, Kerryon Stewart. He's going to be used a lot this game, but expect Teron Keith to be used a lot in this game too. I feel like Bowling Green could use a lot of split back formations in this game because their quarterback, he has not had the best year according to stats. Connor Bazelak has 11 touchdowns and 7 picks, which is what you normally see in a MAC school, but still not what you want to see. Meanwhile, Minnesota, I didn't put much look into them since I didn't think they'd make a bowl game, but they're in a pretty good position. They started off 2-0, and then they played North Carolina, and it just fell down from there. They did beat Iowa, so that was nice. That was probably their headline win, but I just don't think that Minnesota is expected to win this game, just because no one even knew they made a bowl game. I mean, if we're looking at statistics, their quarterback, Athan Kalakaminas, I don't know, he has a complicated name. He has 14 touchdowns and 9 picks, so not the best, not what you want to see, especially when you're in the Big Ten. Minnesota, they have not been impressive to watch this year. They've been a Big Ten West team accordingly. They've only scored so many points on so many teams. Their highest scoring game, I believe, was 34 points, and they lost that game. So I do not like Minnesota in this game. Bowling Green is a 2.5-point underdog. Give me the Falcons to win this game by 7. All right, next game in the First Responder Bowl, a little Texas battle between Texas State out of Sun Belt, Rice out of the American. I really like Texas State this year. The record might not be the best, but I really like not only how they play, but just the teams they play and how they compete. Like, they never, ever, fall out of a game. Texas State's quarterback, TJ Finley, has had a great year. 3,287 yards, 24 touchdowns to 8 picks. He's had an incredible season. Texas State's losses have been to good teams as well. They beat Baylor, and then they lost to UTSA, Louisiana, Troy, Coastal, and Arkansas State. Not to mention they put 77 points on Jackson State. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Rice, they've had a solid year. I mean, one of their losses were to Texas, so it makes sense that they didn't win that game. But they also lost to Connecticut, which doesn't make the most sense. They lost versus Tulane when they were ranked. So Rice has also lost to pretty good teams besides UConn. And their quarterback is very interesting. The former 5-star recruit, JT Daniels, 21 touchdowns, 7 picks, solid year. He's done what he's had to get Rice to a bowl game. Except, can he do it against a team from his state, his team state? I'm going to say he can't. Texas State's defense has looked good in previous weeks. Meanwhile, Rice's offense have been really inconsistent. Texas State's a 3.5-point favorite. Give me the Bobcats to win by 6. And probably the game of the day, Kansas, UNLV, Phoenix, Arizona, the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Kansas would probably be a guaranteed win if they had their star quarterback. But Jalen Daniels has decided to sit out this game. Kansas is with their backup quarterback. UNLV, their number 1 receiver, Ricky White, he's playing, so that's good for them. And their quarterback, Jaden Mavia, is also playing. So UNLV has all of their playmakers still. And it's okay for Kansas because their backup quarterbacks had to play most of the year for them. Jaden Bean, he's been solid. He's done what he's had to. 12 touchdowns to 4 picks, 1,600 yards. He's been solid. He's done what he's had to get Kansas to an 8-4 position. But they're going to have to run the ball a lot with Devin Neal. He has 15 touchdowns at 1,200 yards. He's going to be the main threat that UNLV has to worry about. Meanwhile, UNLV, they are a very unexpected team that made a bowl game. Because at the beginning of the year, UNLV was projected to be worse than Nevada, and we know how that ended up. UNLV's one of their losses was at Michigan. That shouldn't count. And then their other losses were at Fresno State versus San Jose State and the conference championship against Boise State. Statistically, Kansas needs to double team Ricky White. Ricky White is sitting at 1,300 yards and 7 touchdowns. He's one of the top receivers in the league. And Jaden Mavia has been having a pretty good year, yardage-wise, but he has to be a little more careful with the ball. He only has 6 more touchdowns to interceptions, 14-8 ratio. But the offensive line has been playing amazing as he's only been sacked 10 times. So I think Kansas, they're going to have to bring blitzes. They got to put pressure on Jaden Mavia. If they could do that, they're going to win this game. They're a 10.5-point favorite without Jaden Daniels. And this is just a Big 12. This is a big school versus a little school. Give me Kansas to win by 3, though. I think it'll be close. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, stay tuned where I'll be continually picking bowl game after bowl game, every game, until we get to the college football playoff. Enjoy the bowl season, and I'll see you later.